one thing I learned about successful people is successful people make decisions and then they make that decision the right decision, right?
Damn.
They're not afraid to jump in the water and learn how to swim. My mentor told me an airplane it's always it corrects itself in the air. Like you'll never see an airplane like land to be like, all right, we're off course, right? It corrects itself in the air, right? So if an airplane, right, can go and fly in the air and continues to correct itself, why can't you? Why can't you go ahead, leap out there and fly? And as you go along, figure this shit out. You'll be able to correct yourself in the air. Stop waiting for everything to be perfect. Stop waiting to learn how to swim, to jump in the water, right? Stop waiting to have all the answers and all the clues to make the decision. No, just make the decision, and then whatever decision you make, just make that the right decision. Do whatever it takes to make that work.
Yo, what's poppin', man? You know what time it is. Your boy, Mr. J Hill Podcast. Special entrepreneur episodes. We drop every Friday. When I bring somebody in, they show you how to get to the game. They get you ready for the mindset. Just everything you need to prepare to start making your first 6 to 7 figures, right? I'm somebody from the projects in Baltimore that ain't really started getting to 6 figures until I started to move to Atlanta, and I started to talk to people when I had that proximity of like-minded individuals. So I do my duty. Well, it is my duty to bring on people that can share the game. This guy to my left is not only an entrepreneur, a successful entrepreneur, 6-figure earner, 7-figure earner, but this guy is a father. He's a husband. He's a good man, right? And a good person that helps people reach their financial goals through Airbnb, right? But that's just one of his endeavors, and we're going to get into some more. My guy JD is in the building. What up, brother?
Yes, sir.
My
Appreciate
dog,
you.
man.
Thank you for the invite.
No problem, man. How you feeling, first of all?
I'm feeling great, man. God is incredible, man. Things that's been happening in my life over the last few years has been like, I couldn't describe it without God.
Yeah. I see you talk about like faith and motivating people a lot.
Right.
Where does that come from?
Man, it's just like I've been through, like you said, when you said, man, I come from the projects in Baltimore. I went to school in Baltimore, by the way. I went to UMBC.
You went to UMBC, you played basketball there?
Yeah, I played ball there.
Ooh.
Yeah. But I grew up in the projects in New York. I grew up in the projects in the Bronx, and I come from poverty. Even prior to living in the projects, the first 9 years of my life, we lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. At the time, my mother had 6 kids. We had cots all lined up in the living room, 1 bunk bed, but my uncle used to sleep on the bunk bed. That's how my life always looked. And I've always been a person that was trying to find a way. I did the right things at first, went to school, got the good grades, got the good jobs, did that for 7 years, still broke, still living check to check. And I'm like, man, like, what am I doing wrong? Got in network marketing, did pretty good in network marketing. After 7 years, the company was going out of business. Here I am in my kid's bathroom, hand on the sink, looking in the mirror, crying because I'm like, yo, what the hell am I supposed to do? Like, what else? And the way my life has turned and transitioned in a matter of 2 to 4 years, I can't explain it, bro. Like, there is no other explanation of how my life has transformed without the presence of God. So I'm just so big on that and just having faith, because I know that there's other people out there that's like me. Like, you just trying to figure it out. Like, you're a good person. You probably doing the right things. You working hard, but it hasn't happened yet, right? But it doesn't mean that that's your final destination. Like, you just got to keep having that faith, but you also got to remain consistent enough for long enough to receive the blessings that God has for you.
Oh my gosh, bro, I don't even know. Let's go back to that time where you like just in the bathroom, right? Hands on the sink, tears coming down your face. In that moment, how do you? Let's unlayer this real quick. Hold up. You talked about Steve Jobs in the commencement speech, right? I seen that. Yep. You can't really like measure your success. You gotta look back on it.
Yeah. You like, you can't. Life is live forward, but understood backwards.
Exactly.
Like, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking back on it.
In that moment, knowing what you know now, what are you thinking? Because like you said, bro, I'm working my ass off. It ain't like I'm just out here. Like, I'm not no bum. Because I've had those moments where like I'm doing everything. I just don't even know what to do. What are you thinking in that moment?
Right. So if I'm doing it from the perspective of today and I'm looking back on
in that moment,
Well, in that moment,
Yeah.
bro, I have no idea. Like at this point, it's like you reach that breaking point because it's like, man, I'm trying everything. Like I'm doing all that I can do. Like, you get to the point where like you feel like you doing all that you can do. And I'm just like, God, like what is it? Like, what is it? But then I had to start to transition my mindset to like, God, what are you trying to teach me? Like, what are you preparing me for? Because I started to realize that anytime it felt like the world was collapsing on me, it felt like I had everything against me. It was like God was testing me to see if I really wanted what I said I wanted, if I was prepared, for that. And I understand now that he had like bigger. Now, when I look back at that moment, I can almost know, almost exactly. I don't know God exactly, but I know what he was doing for me in that moment and leading up to that
What
moment.
was he doing?
And I felt like anybody, like I've always been very transparent with my journey. Like I posted from the time I was working to the time I was throwing parties, to the time I was doing network marketing. Like I posted my whole journey is on social media. So everybody has watched this transition. And I believe that moment in that bathroom is God saying, I'm gonna take everything away, bro. Like I'm taking everything away. Like I remember a moment leading up to that bathroom where I'm in my car. Well, I get out my car. My wife, my mom, my daughter, and my brother, they're in the car. I'm going to get gas. I got about $5 and change on this credit card. I know I ain't got enough money to get gas, and I'm just praying that it goes over. I'm like, hey, just let this thing go negative. So we get the 5.50. I'm like, come on, $6. We get the $6, $7. I'm like, let's go. I run it all the way up. And it's like I'm like, man, I'm not even at zero. Like I'm below zero. Like so in the mirror, I'm like, I got nothing. I got nothing left. And I felt like God had to strip me because he knew what I was about to do. And he didn't want me to believe that it was me who did it. That it was me who, me, I always bounce back.
I got to the bag.
You know what I'm
me,
saying?
yeah.
I'm always bounce
I
back.
got it by myself, yeah.
He need to let me know, like, hey, bro, listen, I'm taking everything away. So you and all the people who've been watching your journey can understand that it wasn't you, that it was me. Damn. And that's why I felt, I said, man, this is crazy because the way my life transitioned literally from that moment to like even a year after that, it's inexplainable. I can't even explain it, bro. Like even just thinking about this stuff that I have done since that moment in 2020, if I just tell people, like, if people didn't have an opportunity to watch it, if I didn't get on podcasts and do things like this or really share people would not believe it.
Okay, so we know God put you in positions, right? What was and we giving it to God. What was the positions that he put you in that changed your life?
People.
Proximity.
Yeah, one of my mentors said, when I was at network marketing, my mentor, he would say these things and it sounded cool at the time, but now I understand it. And he would say, you have to surround yourself with the thing that outthinks you, right? Sometimes we think that we are doing things for a certain reason, and God is just placing you in position to be connected to a person that he sent for you, right? And for me, one of those moments for me is I started to feel like I needed something more, and I went to get to entrepreneurship, and I was looking online, and I saw that they was having these events in Atlanta, and I came to my first conference in Atlanta, which led me to another conference. And at this conference, I am, I'm at lunch, and I'm looking at a young lady's shirt, and it says like phenomenal power, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, hey, what does that mean? And she's like, oh, this is my husband. And I'm like, can you give me his Instagram? I go back in the room. They're doing like recognition and recognizing people for their achievements. And they're like bringing up this guy and they're like, hey, this guy has made $100,000 in a month. And they say his name. And I'm literally looking at the Instagram, like at the same time as they say his name. I'm like, oh, shoot, this dude. And he went up there and he was telling about, his journey and thing that he did. And I said, man, I got to do whatever it takes to get next to this person. And that person who's Dion, right, Mr. Phenomenal Power, this is the first person that poured into me as a mentor, but whole, not just business, but I'm talking about family. I'm talking about faith. I'm talking about we talking about being more healthier and just doing different things. I'm like, man, I got this person who's pouring into me as a person, right, to be better. And since I have connected with him and all the other people, I ended up meeting, man, my life it's been so different, man. It's just, it's just around, like I said, my mentor always says, surround yourself with the thinking that outthinks you. And that's what I did.
Okay, I'm glad you said that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had to learn about the power of proximity, right? It's a real thing. When we go back to this bathroom, hands on the sink, tears coming down your face, right? It's like, it's almost, I think, surrounding yourself around the people that outthink you, like you said, I think that's the cheat code that they never taught us.
Right.
And I say that because like I can feel that moment almost like I was there with you because I've been in that situation numerous of times. But I only can think about the other people who don't understand the importance of getting yourself around these people that make more than you, that know more than you, so you can learn from them, and that can propel your life forward. And when I hear it, it's like, man, I wish I can tell. I wish I can like force feed it to everybody. What have you learned since then about helping, because you're getting into mentorship now? Like, what have you learned to help people understand it? Because a lot of time, it ain't what you're doing, it's really the mindset and who you around. Right. What have you learned since then to be able to teach this to people?
Man, you know, and it's crazy, like, and I don't push my beliefs on anyone. I personally believe in God, but it's a lot of stuff come back from faith. And to be honest, right, a lot of people, they don't understand, honestly, because they've been around them their whole life. You know what I'm saying?
You snap.
Like, bro, like you, the only reason you are not what you desire to be or you deserve to be is because you've been hanging around you, right? And if you knew what it took to get to where you desire to be, you would be there. There's nobody in the history of people that said, well, I know how to make $1 million. I'm just waiting for next year to do it. If you knew how to do it, you would
every
be doing
single
it.
day.
Right. So here's the thing, right? Little statistics, 95% of our population, they end up dead broke, or they depend on the government by the age of 65. 5% of our population end up financially fit or financially free, right? Why is that? Why is it 95%? Because most people think and act the same, right? So you are literally around you and around people, and most people never understand. And it's hard for you to get to a point where you say, I'm going to take the trust that I have for me and put it into somebody else who I barely know, who I saw on the internet. It is a very hard thing to do, right? You think about this. You have been trusting you your whole life.
It ain't working.
But you got to come to a point like I did, where I said, all right, JD, I'm over 30 years old. I'm a good person. I went to school. I work hard. I tried different things. And I had to say, yo, I'm still not there. Like, I'm still not there. I still haven't arrived there. And I had to do one thing. And I'm going to give y'all this word. For everybody watching, I'm going to give you this one word. It changed my entire life. I had to get to a point where I submitted. I submitted to a person or to people who could see what I couldn't see. And that's what it is. But that's hard. Like it's hard to get people, like you say, we want to like force feed them. It's hard to get them to see that they have to say, bro, everything that I think is the right thing to do, everything that I think makes sense to me, it has got me to where I am, right? All the decisions that you have made, every choice that you have made, everything that you have done up until right now, this moment, however your life looks like, your decision making has got you there. So you got to be able to say, I release myself from my thinking, and I'm going to place my thinking to somebody who I trust, who I like, who I see, who is doing what I want to do.
And I think that's a fact, but it's also like the outside noise around people. And I can see that, like Steve Jobs would say, like, looking back. Right? Because I see how many people, and I'll explain. The outside noise is like the people that's saying, for example, I was on, we had a debate about DC and Atlanta, right? And it don't matter about the debate, but I seen people talking about how there's a bunch of scammers in Atlanta. Everybody, they look one way whole time they not, or everybody want to go to Atlanta to like jumpstart their career, or like somebody even said like people go to Atlanta because they couldn't get lit in their hometown, things like this. And like I remember being in those spaces, and I used to hear that and be like, nah, well, I don't want to have to leave my hometown to be successful, or man, all these niggas scammers, I believe they scammers too, right? And it almost feels, I almost feel weird saying what I'm about to say, because it almost feels like I joined the circus, but it's not. It's real. And what I mean by that is like, yeah, when people around you don't understand it, they can talk down on it. But it's like, bro, I really I can't say I made $1 million. I didn't, right? I would never do that. I didn't make $500,000 yet. You know what I'm saying? But I have made 6 figures off a fucking podcast, bro.
Right.
Like, off of working for myself, bro. Like I've never experienced that where I was at. So I'm here and I'm telling people that, but I know there's so many other people saying, Man, niggas is scamming. And I'm not saying everybody not. I know it's some people that are, but for the most part, bro, you put yourself in a position where everybody is doing successful. Even if you don't make $1 million, nigga, you make fucking 100,000. That's better than nothing. But people don't get it. And I understand, but it's like, I can't force it to you. You gotta take that leap.
Man, bro, I could talk on this forever, but I'm gonna say this one thing first. If you buy somebody's opinion, you buy their lifestyle. Right? So one thing I started to do is anytime somebody wants to give me their opinion, right? I'll look at them like, all right, bro, do they have the lifestyle that I want? Not do they make enough money? Not do they make the money? Not do they drive the car? Like, how are you with your family? How are you traveling? How are you living? What are the things that you do? Like, what do you like? How do you move when you go out to eat? I'm looking for a certain lifestyle. So when people start to say things, and give me opinions, bro, I'm not buying it, bro. I'm not buying it because you don't have the lifestyle that I want, so you're not qualified to give me opinions, right? And I start to change my thinking, bro. Sometimes it's better to hang alone than to hang with other people. I always tell my friends, bro, I won't hang with you, but you can hang with me because I ain't got time for the slow down for you to catch up, bro. Like, you gonna hang with me? Like, it's lit. Come on, let's go. So for me, when I started thinking that way, right, I started to realize, man, all the people around me, they weren't bad people, but they just wasn't designed to go where I was going, and they definitely wasn't designed to take me there. And the crazy thing is, all the people who had opinions, they didn't have solutions for me. They took, oh, niggas, all right, cool. So tell me what else? So give me what's next then. Give me the solution, bro. You telling me about all the problems and the scams and this. Okay, cool. I'm looking for an answer. Then give it to me. If you can't give it to me, then bro, let me just do what I got to do. Now here's the part, right? And I rarely, if you ever see me, I don't really be talking about the whole money thing. But bro, I moved here last August, so I've been here for a little over a year. In that time, at the time I moved over here, I got to a point, I had made like 1 month, I had actually made up to like $64,000 in a month, right? But it was like just one of those months where I did something and it worked out. I was like, man, it's lit. But I was averaging about $10,000 a month before I moved out here. My mentor was like, you got to move. And then me and my wife and one day we was like, yo, let's do it. Let's go. We just went on faith, right? But since I came here, right, I remember I've made over $100,000 in 24 hours more times than I can remember.
Damn.
Bro, more times than I can remember. I have months where I've made about $400,000, right? I haven't made, like a goal is to make one of my goals is to make $1 million in a month, right? I've made $400,000 in a month, bro. Since I moved here, I bought my dream car, and when I went to go buy my dream car, I told my wife to come because I needed content. She recorded me as we walk in, the confetti pops, and she realized I bought her dream truck, right? I just moved in, right? We built a house from the ground up. I'm from New York. I never thought about owning a house. I like renting.
Yeah.
We bought a house, bro, and I didn't do a traditional loan. I didn't even know it was possible for me to buy a house. I did an entrepreneur loan. I had to come out of pocket $130,000 in cash, over $130,000 in cash. Right now, I got people at my house working, creating, doing the theaters and fixing everything up. I told my wife, I said, just get exactly what you want. Don't worry about it. We can do this right now, right? And I'm telling you, I'm saying all this to say, y'all, this happened in 1 year of me being obedient, right? And just moving, bro. 1 year, I have done more than I've done. If you combine my entire adult life together, from working, network marketing, and everything that I've done in 1 year, I have done way more than all of that combined, bro. And it's because, so they could say, oh, moving to Atlanta. And here's the thing. For me and you, it may be Atlanta. For somebody else, it could be somewhere else, right? It doesn't have to be, but I mean, like I said, I like the proof here. It made a lot of sense to be here, bro. It's people are in motion, and what I like about it is there are people in motion, or there's people trying to get in motion, bro. But at the end of the day, I'm all around people that's going somewhere. They're trying to go somewhere, bro. I would rather be here, bro. When I was in Detroit, I'm from New York, but I lived like 30 minutes from New York in Stanford for the last like 5 or 6 years, right? And I just felt alone. Like there was one guy that he had his own company, a direct sales company, and he had the same kind of mindset, but there was nobody else. There was nobody I can have like even like this. I couldn't have a conversation with people because we wasn't on the same kind of like thinking paths, bro, growth path. We just wasn't on the same kind of journey. So I just felt so alone, bro. And I just had to get around this, bro. As I'm out here, I gotta go speak at 2 events tomorrow. I gotta, I gotta go pop up at this other event to show love to this other entrepreneurs. I make quick text, hey bro, you mind pulling up? I'm having an event, man. I want you to come and just love on the people. And people are doing it, bro. How we connect, it's all kind of events, conferences, networks, masterminds. There's people out there really inspiring people to do more, right? And if people can't see that as something great, bro, there's something wrong with them. But I don't entertain that, bro. I don't entertain that. I don't care. I say this. My wife, one time, she was telling me about people back home and how they were talking about me. And she always looks like, you don't be getting bothered. And I told her, I said, listen, I don't worry about criticism. So I told my wife, I said, I don't worry about criticism. I worry about being close enough to hear it. You got to learn, because I know there's a person out here watching this right now. And they're like, bro, this is me. I want that. I want it. But the noise is just killing them. It's keeping them there, bro. Forget the noise, man. Forget the noise, bro. Follow your heart. Follow your gut, man. Forget all that other stuff. Man, don't worry about that, because people going to criticize. They're going to talk about you anyway. They might as well talk about you when you're rich.
And facts. and you got to do, what I did was I had to put myself in position to be able to do it. Right? And that ain't had nothing to do with money. So simple as I moved to Laurel. Laurel was like 35 minutes from Baltimore, right? So me moving to Laurel as a Baltimore kid, now I'm not depending on Baltimore, even though it's 35. Like for people that's from Baltimore, they won't understand it. You get what I'm saying? So like, you might not think it's far, like 35 minutes is nothing, but being from Baltimore, I'm not driving 35 because it's getting 45, 50 minutes with traffic. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going there as much, right? So now I'm accustomed to not being in Baltimore. So because I'm in a different place, if I can do this in Laurel, I can do it in Atlanta, because I'm not going to Baltimore all the time, right? That's one. Two, before I came to Atlanta, I'll never forget, my close friend told me this, because like the year I came to Atlanta, I literally was in my prime, because I used to host events, right? I used to throw events. I used to like MC events. And I was getting booked by like all of the big promoters. So like I'm in my prime. Like I wanted to get here when it comes to hosting, right? Making the most money I made on like on the hosting side. And I'm like, man, a part of the reason why I don't want to move is because I'm lit right now, right? And my homie, I never forget it. He was like, bro, that's the time when you should leave. He like, right now you got the favor of God on your side. So take that momentum and go. I'm like, sheesh, how can I argue that?
Right.
He like, yo, you got the favor of God on your side right now. That's why you lit right now. You think you gonna move to Atlanta, it's gonna stop? No, this ain't gonna stop nothing. It's gonna propel it. I said, sheesh. God,
that's fine. I love that.
Yo,
bro.
I'm like, damn. And so going to that, because I watched the commencement speech from Steve Jobs, like when I seen you talking about it. Right. One of the things that stood out to me was the moment he said, he was talking about faith. And basically, like, a lot of people don't jump off the steps, or I'm paraphrasing, or don't jump off the ledge to do what they love because they scared, right? And he was like, anytime you get in that moment where you're scared to like push forward, think about death. Death don't care about none of that. Because if you die, then, so like, bro, if it's something out here that you really want to do, think about death. And he was like, he had got cancer, and like, it was a scare or whatever, right? And basically, like, when you thinking it, like, if you know your death date, you're gonna do whatever you gotta do to get to where you wanna be. But the fact that you don't know that, you like, nah, I don't wanna promote this because they're gonna think I'm this. I don't wanna do this because they're gonna think I'm that.
Bro, I'm so glad you said that, because people be looking at me like I'm crazy when I talk this way. And even like I have these conversations with my wife, but my wife, sometimes it scare her. I'm like, bro, I think like, bro, we all gonna die at some point, and we don't know when. And I told my wife, this is probably like three or so weeks ago, and I forgot what we was talking about. We was in the car, and I said to her, I said, I'm good. Like I really have everything that I want. I said, I'm like, the things that I've wanted, I have it. I don't really like. I'll get stuff because I like it or whatever. I don't really need or desire anything else. Right? There's nothing that I'm like, I really gotta have that. I said, man, everything I do is for y'all. I said, I just want to make sure you're good. I'm doing like learning. I'm learning about life insurance, and I'm learning about all these different things, and I'm learning about making different investments and doing different moves. And I live like that because, like you said, bro, I understand that one day that we are not gonna be here. And for me, everything compared to that,
there's nothing.
Bro, it's just like it's insignificant, like totally insignificant, bro. And you just start doing things different when you just understand that. So, bro, and if you just think that way, you probably will be willing to take more chances than you're doing right now.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact, bro.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
so
You'll probably
true.
be willing to just take more chances, and that's what it takes. Sometimes it's just like, one thing I learned about successful people is successful people make decisions, and then they make that decision the right decision, right?
Damn.
They're not afraid to jump in the water and learn how to swim. My mentor told me, he said, a airplane, and I really want to research this now that I think about it. He said, a airplane is always, it corrects itself in the air. Like you'll never see an airplane like land to be like, all right, we're off course, right? It corrects itself in the air, right? So if a airplane right can go and fly in the air and continues to correct itself, why can't you? Why can't you go ahead, leap out there and fly? And as you go along, figure this shit out. You know, you'll be able to correct yourself in the air. Stop waiting for everything to be perfect. Stop waiting to learn how to swim to jump in the water, right? Stop waiting to have all the answers and all the clues to make the decision. No, just make the decision, and then whatever decision you make, just make that the right decision. Do whatever it takes to make that work, bro.
Bro, you know the crazy thing about that, though? Because if you had all of the answers, you probably wouldn't even do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's crazy because even when I tell people to podcast, right, how to help start them to do their podcast, I feel bad sometimes because a lot of the things that I'm telling them is cliche. But I learned that it's cliche for a reason.
Right.
Because it works. That's why it's cliche. And one of the things I always say is like, you get started. You got to get started. Right. And it's not the fact that I'm trying to like half-ass the advice, but a lot of times the best teacher you will ever have is experience itself. And in order to get experience, you got to start. So a lot of the things that like a lot of people, what they do is compare, right? We all know that comparison is the thief of joy. But what happens is you compare somebody day 100, we got to put 10,000 hours, day 10,000 hour, right? 10,000th hour to your first second. Mm-hmm. You can't do that because throughout my 10,000 hours, I learned so much along the way. If you start, I promise you, the things you think you should know, you will know. You will learn. Yeah, and yeah, a way to, and I'm not trying to sell, right? Because I definitely want to have a conversation outside of like just trying to sell people, but you can split those hours in half if you learn from somebody. Literally. It can be YouTube, it could be a mentor, but you have to start, bro. Like people don't understand. That's literally if you want to finesse anything, niggas want to finesse. If you want to finesse your life or whatever, start. Mm-hmm. Start and learn.
Bro, life is so simple. It really is simple, and we just overcomplicate. I believe getting rich is easy. It's an easy sport that people overcomplicate. It's not hard. Once you do it, it's not hard. Why? Because all the answers are here, bro. People have the answers. Bro, the way I live my life now, and it's crazy because I used to be the person that tried to find every like little cheaper corner or whatever the case is. I'm like, bro, like, nah, but I could probably get this for cheaper. Bro, the way I live my life is who can I pay? Bro, I don't care. Like, I don't got time to be trying to figure this out and figure that out. Who can I pay? Like, you the best, and you gonna be able to get me there faster, and I don't have to think as much. Bro, like right now, bro, like in my social media, bro, I have like 2 different teams running like different parts of social media, right, for me. And bro, I told my wife I love it. She'll see me coming downstairs, bro. I went to my office the other day. I had like 15 shirts. I took my wife to her birthday. We went to the hotel. We stayed downtown. And I did a little staycation for her. I bought like 15 shirts. She's like, why the hell you keep bringing all these shirts? I'm like, I'm about to film like 20 fucking videos. I'm about to film like 20 videos. You know why? They send me the scripts. I ain't got to think. I put on a new shirt. I look at the script. Hey, guys, you want to learn about doing Airbnb? Boom. Boom. I send it to them. They edit it, put all the content out. I don't have to think, bro. So my life is, if there's something I'm looking to do, who's really good at it? Who can I see who has trusted people that they have helped, and they are winning. And I don't care what it is. They have helped other people, because I believe, like, it's one thing for you to have success, but it's another thing for you to be able to help other people create success. So if I look at a person and they have success, and I can track and see, man, they've helped these people. Okay, all these people can't be paid actors. All right, cool. How much do I have to pay, and how fast can you get me there? That's how I live my life now, bro. I just want to know, who can I pay to get me there? And that's the thing. It's like, people look at this stuff, and that's why I don't understand when people are like, oh, the course is a scam and this. You serious? Like, let's just take away all the other BS, right? Just let's use common sense, bro. Like, common sense says, hey, this person knows how to do something. They have done it. If I pay them, I can get it there. But you rather say, no, this is scam. I'm gonna figure it out on my own. You ain't figured it out thus far.
Mm.
Why do you think you're gonna magically figure this out? Nah, my life changed when I started putting my trust into other people. When I started paying other people to give me the answers. And here's the thing, y'all. Let me share this with y'all. It doesn't have to be a big thing. Sometimes it's just a little. I'm like, oh, damn, that's it. And you might be thinking, oh, I have to pay this amount of money for that. Yes, that little thing just transform your entire life, bro. It could be a little switch, bro. My mentors don't say nothing, bro. I don't need to be pushed. That's one thing about me. Like my mentors, they be like, bro, you don't ask me to do. You just be out there doing, bro. I just need the little. I need the little things that I can't see. Just tell me like, oh, nah, JD, you was doing this. But if you say it this way, oh, yeah, that's right.
Something small as, so everybody be like, man, Jay, you know so many people. Like, I'm terrible with like utilizing my network, right? Something small as, I would have paid for this. Like, it might sound crazy to the people, but that's how impactful it was to me. David Shands is like my big dog, right? That's my homie. He's very successful in his entrepreneurship stuff, right? I'm trying to figure something out. And I was with somebody, and she literally was like, yo, call David Shands. Something, so when I'm trying to like paint the picture for people, something that small. Cause I could call David, right? Like, but it's like, I'm thinking, I don't want to bother him. Like, he busy, he ain't gonna answer. Person literally was like, just call Shands, ask him. I called Shands. That call was even, I would have paid $1,500 for that call, you know what I'm saying? But just something small as, call such and such. What people don't understand is like, yo, those little tidbits can make or break what you do. Like, bro, so when you said it, I'm like, man, I get it, bro, but it was a time. That's why I spent so much time talking about it. It was a time when I did not understand that, bro. And I wish I could I wish I could open my brain and show people so they can really believe it. Cause I know it do look like fluff sometimes.
It's I say this and I still haven't figured it out. But I always say, I wish there was a way, because you see me winning and doing this and whatever, but I wish there was a way for me to give you the feeling that I have. Like if I could transfer this feeling that I have about the way I live my life, if you could experience that feeling for just a little bit,
you
you
understand.
wouldn't question anything. So that's what it is. Like, man, like the way you feel, bro, and all the things that you've done and all these things, like if they had that feeling that you felt when you made that call and you got that transformative moment, if they had that feeling, bro, we wouldn't even have to talk, bro. We wouldn't have to inspire people,
No.
right? It's just, bro, it's hard. It's so hard. And I understand for the people that's watching, I truly understand. Like, it's hard to trust things out here. It's hard to trust people. But I promise you, man, these are the answers. And sometimes we're looking for it to be more than what it is. Sometimes it's as simple as the only thing that separates me from you is I started and you didn't. The only thing that separates me from you is that I was willing to find somebody who was thinking on levels that I just wasn't thinking. The only thing that separates me from you is I came to a point where I had to take self-inventory and I had to say, man, I don't know the answers. As smart as I am, as old as I am, I just don't have the answers. And I have to put my trust. These are the answers. And you guys hear all the time. I am not the first person that come up here and said things like this. So this is not the first time you've seen or heard things like this. And these are the answers, bro.
And furthermore, what separates me from you or us from them is the fact that I didn't stop. Think about basketball, right? Because I pledged right in college, and I always talk about the fraternities, but for people that didn't, let's think about sports, right? I think what separates the great from the good is the people that show up and they give it 100% every single time, right? Like when it comes to doing a podcast, like a lot of people see the big wins. They rarely see the L's, but they can only see the big wins because I continue to keep going after I done had an L. I had way more L's than wins, but y'all don't know that because nobody looking at the L's, if that makes sense. So if you just continue to go, you're bound to continue to win. It's just don't stop. A lot of times somebody they face adversity and like, man, it's too much for me. I quit. Fuck that. Nah, bro. Like it don't work like that.
You gotta be consistent enough for long enough. Now here's the crazy thing. My enough and your enough ain't the same. My enough could be 2 years. Your enough could be 5. My enough could be 3 months. Your enough could be 10.
And you gotta be okay with going that far.
You gotta be willing. You gotta be willing to stay consistent enough for long enough. Anybody who's watched my journey, they always say, there was a young lady said, hey, let me say, I came on here, I don't even have a question. I was doing a Q&A, I was speaking to like 300 people. She said, I don't even have a question, but I don't even think you know me. I used to ride the train with you to work. In New York, we used to ride the train. And I watched you, and I remember you starting in this, and I remember you starting this, and I remember you doing this. And, bro, whatever it is that you're teaching, whatever it is, I want to be a part of it because I have watched you for over 10 years just be on this journey. Bro, I was consistent enough for long enough. I stayed on the road long enough to get the blessing that God left for me. That's it, bro. People are not willing to do. And I tell people, like, I think this is like a title of a book cover or something. I heard it somewhere. I don't even remember where it's from. It says, all you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough. You just got to make sure you do all you can do. That's how I live, bro. Every day, bro. Every day I give it. I don't go to sleep, bro. I don't go to sleep like I fall asleep. I'm just like, I just can't. That's it. I'm done.
Yep.
I'm done. I can't do anything else. I give it everything that I got.
Everything.
But I've been doing that for years.
And you know, it's funny, one thing I think people overlook, I thank God for this so much. People like, what, like, how or why, like, I contributed to God giving me willpower. Because you need that willpower to keep going, bro. I thank God so much because, like you said, it's been so many times, especially in this climate, especially in Atlanta. I'm with y'all. I want people to understand. I done seen people have a podcast or make millions. They be like, man, and they praise the, like, the how fast they got it nowadays. And, like, salute to them. But I want you to know that it wasn't that fast for me. I've been doing this for a long time. I got into internet radio in 2016. I don't think people understand, bro. I ain't just, you just might be seeing me. Nigga, I've been doing this for a long time, but I've been doing this for a long time, and I had to wait my turn. And it ain't about waiting your turn. I want people to understand, like, somebody told me this, like, bro, it ain't no expiration date to winning, right? Like, I don't know exactly how they said it, but basically, like, it ain't no expiration date. So let's say you win today, and I don't. Cool. If I win 10 years later, if you're still winning, we still gonna be in the same room. Right. It don't matter how long. Like, ain't nobody looking at how long you took it there. When we here, we here. I ain't talking about when you ain't have it. Right. We here together now. You just gotta do what it takes to get there, bro.
And it's like, if you haven't, y'all can just YouTube this or something. It's like the story of the Chinese bamboo tree. You heard of it?
No, I might have heard of it.
So the Chinese bamboo tree. So basically, when you plant a seed, like, you got to plant the seed, you got to water it, you got to take care of it, you got to give it sunlight, you got to nurture this plant for 6 years. For 6 years before the tree even breaks the ground. Wow. So for 6 years, you're not seeing nothing. So, like, when you're saying your story, like, bro, I've been doing this since 2016, bro. That's your Chinese bamboo tree. That's that. That's like, people don't see, like, nah, things are happening. I just haven't broke the surface yet. But here's the crazy thing. For 6 years, you water, you do all the things, you nurture it. And then in 5 months, once it breaks the ground, in 5 months, it grows to over 6 feet or 12 feet. I forgot the amount. Y'all can look it up. But in 5, so when people see people like myself or you, and they're like, yo, bro, you blowing up and this, bro, you ain't see the 6 years when I was nurturing and going hard, and you ain't even know me. You know me now. You see me the last, because I broke the ground, bro. I stayed consistent enough for long enough to break through that concrete, and now I'm like, bro, I'm gone. I'm out of there. And some of y'all in y'all Chinese bamboo tree season.
Ooh, this is fire, yo. Let's take a drink to breaking the ground, bro. I know you said one.
Let's do it.
You can just move it out the way, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, I'm gonna let you pour your own poison. Oh, there you go.
Pour your own greatness.
Yeah, facts. Yo, I see you talk about your wife a lot.
Yes, sir. Cheers.
Cheers, my brother. What is, like, I know it means a lot, right? But if we can go deeper than that, right? Like, why is that such a a big part of your life and that you care so much about this? Not like you shouldn't, but just curious.
My wife is the reason that I'm able to do everything that I do right now.
Mm.
And I believe when people look at relationships, they look at marriage, they look at these things, right? They in most cases mess it up because it's almost the complete opposite of what you believe.
Mm.
Right? So in relationships,
You can put it on that too if you need it.
yes, sir. Right? So it's being able to like hear what she's not saying.
Mm.
Or for her to be able to hear what I don't say or to see what I don't show her. Right? That ability you can't get from just anybody, right? It gotta be somebody that truly loves you, truly desire to see you win. So there's things that my wife tell me, and I'm like, nah, this ain't happen, or this person is cool, whatever. Sure enough, come down the line, it's exactly what she said.
It's like your mom's back in the like when you was a kid, right?
It's crazy. And it's like, it's so important. Like my wife has done so many things that never gets recognized that are so important to me.
Mm.
Like she'll recognize that, hey, you're complaining about your back so much. That's because you're sitting down so long. So she goes and buys a desk that raises. So sometimes I don't want to do work, I can stand.
Mm.
That's because she's seeing what I don't tell her. You get what I'm saying? What I don't show. I'm not. She see all body language. There's times she come to me like, hey, you need to rest.
Mm.
You need to rest. And I end up in a hospital a few days later needing an IV because I'm just running. I'm not stopping. And it's just so important to have somebody like that, in your life that doesn't even need the recognition, but they're there to just really see you win, bro. I do everything in my power. And bro, y'all could say whatever. I don't really care personally, right? Bro, I do everything in my power to make my wife's life as easy as possible. We got to the gas station the other day, and my wife, I get out to go do the car. She's like, "Oh no, but you can pay with my card." I said, "When have you ever pulled up to a gas station and I didn't pump your gas and I didn't pay for it?"
Mm.
And she just laughed. I make sure the gas is in the car. I make sure the car is washed. I make sure she don't pay the car note. I make sure she don't have to worry about the bills. I make sure she don't have to stress. I make sure if she mentions something that it happens. If she tells me that she's stressful, I went and bought her a massage package. So now she got a monthly pack. Go get your massages. You need your time alone. You need whatever it is that you need. I got it for you. Because when I make her life as easy as possible, the only thing she got to worry about is me and the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when she could be at her best. That's when she can see like, that ain't healthy. We need to do this. Oh, this person, that ain't right for you. Hey, JD, I know I don't do all the coaching and all stuff, but that business you about to move, I don't think that's the right one. Because she don't have no other worry, bro. She has literally nothing else to do. I make my wife, like my wife never hears the word no from me. Whatever it is yes. And I make her life so easy, but it makes my life so much. It allows me to thrive as an entrepreneur because now I don't got to worry about nothing else. I don't got to worry about, the kids is this, is the house this, is that happening, is this paid or is that? I don't have to worry about nothing. I just got to focus on adding value to my community and just being all that I can be for the people that I'm serving. I don't have to worry about nothing else. So me making her life easy has made my life easy, which has allowed me to thrive in business. So when you find a partner, it could be a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. But when you find somebody and you got to realize you got to pour into them, because a lot of times what it goes back to what I was saying at the beginning. It's like exact opposite of what you think. You may sit there and be like, yeah, but this I ain't happy. This it don't feel good. Well, no, all right, cool. Well, if it don't, stop looking for your wife to fulfill your needs, or stop looking for your husband to fulfill your needs and start fulfilling theirs. When you start fulfilling theirs, yours will automatically be fulfilled. Bro, I made it about my wife. I just do whatever it takes to make my wife happy. And damn, magically, my life is a fucking amazing, bro.
Yo, it's funny. I wanted to ask you this. Like, I would be remiss if I didn't. So many men, they meet women, they even get married, and we still see them like successful men at that, right? Go out, step out on their wives or girlfriends and things like that. And I was wondering, like, why do you think that is?
I would say the noise.
Mm.
So if you look at it like this, right? Most people don't experience success right away, right? So most people, they go through a journey of, like we said, the Chinese bamboo tree, right? Where they're going through this journey. So you'll see people get to a place that they've never been. They have what they never had, and now they become more attractive to the people that never was attracted to them in the first place. And now, because they have the ability to do something, they do it because they couldn't do it before. I got the money, bro. I'm not even trying to be funny, bro. Like, if you look at me today compared to me years ago, bro, I'm attractive to a lot of women at this point because I'm successful. I have business. I'm doing good. I do good by my wife. I make sure that I'm taken care of. So now more women are going to be more attracted to that. The question is, do you have the discipline? That's really the only thing that separates it. But when you get to a place where you could finally get whatever you want, now you're like, damn, I never had that. Oh, I never was able to do that. I never was able to just get a girl like this. So now they're willing to do it, right? But that's why it's so, in my opinion, that's why it's even so hard to like date right now. That's why I'm so glad I've been in a relationship since we've been together for like 12 years, bro. We've been married for 3, but we've been together for 12 years. So I've been with my wife before all of the noise. Like, I grew with her. So it's like, it's a lot different for people like me that, and people that have been in relationships, they, their partners have seen them struggle, that have been through that journey. It just makes it a lot different than, I don't want to say like new relationships because, bro, we live in a whole different time now. So it's a lot like I would be scared. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I would be scared today because I wouldn't be able to trust nobody. To be honest, like if I was like that person that, let's say I was like single and like 3 years ago, then I started creating success now, bro, it would be hard for me to trust to be in a relationship with other people, and I would tell them like it's gonna be hard for you to trust me to be in a relationship.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, going back to like infidelity thing. At first, the first question I was going to ask is like, is it a correlation between like how you treat your wife and being successful? But we see so many people that make millions of dollars and still cheat on their wives. When it comes to like who you deal with, if you know somebody that moves forward with their wife, like, does that make it hard for you to work with them, or like?
Yeah, it's gonna automatically make it weird. It's gonna automatically be off. Because when you, like, since I was married, I didn't even like do this intentionally. The people that I hang around, they're mostly married people. Like some of my friends that are entrepreneurs out here in Atlanta, like when we do things, they're like, damn, it's always y'all always do married couple. I'm like, yo, I'm not even intentionally trying to do that. It's just the people that I'm attracted to are people who are in
Like
the marriage
mine?
and committed to their marriage.
Yeah.
It is, or they're in like a relationship. And then the funny thing is like one of the other, couples that they just got engaged and stuff. So it's just like it's natural. So imagine you have all these couples, or you're married, or you're committed to a relationship, and then somebody is not. It's gonna automatically not fit. It's gonna automatically be something off, bro.
Yeah.
In fact, that person may not even be comfortable being in that situation because the conversations that we're gonna have is gonna make them uncomfortable. It's gonna make them uncomfortable every single time because the conversations we have is about loving on our wives, doing things for our wives, or doing things for their husbands. Like these are the kind of conversations. Oh, this is what I did with my wife, or this is, and it ain't always about making. Because me and my wife, we argue, we fight, we go through things. We could talk about those things and how we overcame it. But now you in there, you trying to have a conversation, and now you like, damn, I ain't overcoming. I'm out here trying to do me. You know what I'm saying? It's going to automatically make you uncomfortable. So it's going to automatically weed out the people. Like it's just a part of that, like that process. So I don't even remember what the original question was, to be honest. But it's just like
working with like men that might be married, that might be cheating. Like
it's gonna be hard, but it's not. The answer is it's not really as hard because they will automatically like weed themselves out of the picture. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just when people start to feel uncomfortable, even if they're successful, they're uncomfortable in conversation, right? Because they know they're not true to whatever it is that we're talking about.
That makes sense.
So now they don't want to be around it. So what are they gonna do? They don't want to be there because if we talking, I'm saying, hey, this, or my wife that, and I say it to you, Now you can't confidently say that answer. So now what you gonna start doing? Yeah, nah, I ain't gonna be around. You gonna come around, but you ain't gonna come around as much.
That makes sense. Y'all want to get into this Airbnb thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2025 now, about to be 2026. Some people would say like, all right, Airbnb came, it had its time, and it went. What do you say to that?
I'm gonna give you some comments and shit.
I'm gonna give you some comments.
Listen, 2 things people will always need is a way to get around and a place to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Why would Airbnb go? Airbnb is not going anywhere. People will always need a place to stay, right? When people say stuff like Airbnb is dead, I'm like, I don't. First of all, I don't really care, right? But the only reason a person would say that or feel that way is because they are not willing to adapt. And the only thing constant in this world is change, right? The environment in Airbnb has changed. You're not willing to adapt to that environment. One of the things that I highly promote to every one of my students are Airbnb friendly buildings. These are buildings that partner with Airbnb, and the building says, hey, give me a percentage, I'll let you do Airbnb here. When I first started doing Airbnb friendly buildings, I was a part of another mentorship and other communities, and they would say, oh, you crazy. Why would you give the building 20% and 25%? I'm like, I'm giving the building 25% and I'm making $2,000 a month in profit. You're keeping 100% of your money and you making $1,000. Why wouldn't I give the building 25%? Now we get to an environment where almost all these different Airbnb coaches and all that, they're starting to weed out. And I'm still here, thriving, and everybody's doing really good. Why? Because I was confident enough to say, this is the way the world is moving. I'm going to move with it and not fight against it. So Airbnb is not dead. It's very much alive, but the way to do Airbnb is a lot different. And in my opinion, it makes my life so much easier because I don't have to worry about the things I had to worry about before when I was doing Airbnb the traditional way. Like a person saying, oh, you could do Airbnb, and then 3 months later, like, I don't like this no more. You can't do it. Now I got to start over. I got to pack up my stuff, right? If I'm doing Airbnb friendly buildings, they have a relationship with Airbnb, the company, right? So I ain't got to worry about that, right? Oh, let's say I have guests that's going in and they're going through the front door and they're asking questions. And I always say you got to be a pleasure to work with. So now if buildings are seeing like all these people coming for Airbnbs, it's becoming annoying. They got to constantly fix the units and all that stuff. They say, we don't want the Airbnb here, right? But now the buildings I'm in, when people walk in, when my guests walk in, they're like, hey, you checking in for Airbnb? Let me help you check in. Now it makes their experience a lot easier, which now what happens for me? For me as a business owner, it makes my life a lot easier. This is why I teach Airbnb automation. I teach people how to make money on Airbnb in less than 20 minutes a day without buying property, right? It takes us less than 10 minutes a day to run our business. So if it takes you more than 20, you doing it wrong, bro. Can everybody say lazy money, bro? I'm okay with not working hard and making money. It is the absolute easiest thing that I've ever done and the most rewarding thing that I've ever done was starting this Airbnb business because it is literally no stress for me, especially now with the Airbnb friendly buildings.
So let me ask you this. Is it similar? Because I think of Turo, and like I don't know too much about either. I had an Airbnb, but I know with Turo, I feel like you got to have a flight of cars. Like one car not going to really make you no money. Is it the same with Airbnb?
Yep. I always say this. One unit is not life-changing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it'll add value to you. Hey, I'm making an extra $800 a month. I can now pay these bills. Cool. It's great and it's useful. It's not life-changing.
Okay.
When you get to that life-changing money, when you start to get 4 or 5, 6 units and you go from making $800 a month to $6,000 a month, you're like, damn, well, I'll make that at work. I don't really have to go to work. Now that becomes life-changing. But it still adds value, even for the person that you go out there and think about it. If the only thing that you did was go get one Airbnb and you was making $800 a month, and now you could pay down your credit cards, would it be worth it? If the only thing that you did was got one unit, you was bringing $800 a month, and you could take one more vacation a year with your kids, would that be worth it? Right? So it's all worth it. It's just not life. It's not going to be like a dramatic change.
Yeah.
And with the environment that we live in, especially with social media, they always see the dramatic. They see the JD sitting here with freaking jewelry on. They see that I bought the house. That ain't gonna happen for you in 1 unit, 2 units.
That's your day 100. They looking at your day 100 at day 1.
It's the process. I went and I got multiple units. So the thing that I tell people is if you're the person that you just need a little something to pay your bills, go get 1 or 2 units. And that's cool. If that's what you want, that is totally fine. if you're the person on here like, man, JD, if I could make an extra $10,000, $15,000 a month, my advice to them would be to scale up fast. That means get as many units as you can as fast as you can. Now, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I said get as many units as you can as fast as you can. Your fast and somebody else's fast is totally different. Just like I talked about before, right? Your fast may be a year. Cool. Do as much as you can do in 1 year. This person fast may be 3 months. They may have more money than you. Their credit may be in a better position. They may have access to funding. Cool. But just if you want to get to the point, because everybody can do it, just you want to get as many units as you can as fast as you can. So what I did was when I got my first 2 units, right? The money that I made, I didn't wait till I was in like total profit. As soon as I had enough money to get another one, I just went and got another one. And as soon as I got enough money to get another one, I went and got another one. I had a conversation with my wife and I said, listen, we're going to live how we lived before we started Airbnb. She said, what do you mean? I said, we're not going to touch any Airbnb money. We're not going to use it to buy no tissue. We're not going to use it to buy pizza or pay a bill. Like we've been struggling for this long. Let's struggle for one more year.
Come on.
Let's struggle for one more year, right? And all we did is every dollar we had, we kept piling up. And then eventually we got to a point. I remember when I saw $64,000 going to my bank account in 1 month just from Airbnb bookings. And I said, all right, cool. Now we put ourselves on payroll and we started paying ourselves. To this day, every single week, my wife gets a check, right? A W-2 check, right? From our Airbnb company, and I get a check. But we didn't touch nothing for a year. We was like, listen, we ain't gonna touch nothing because we understood the power of just scaling up and getting multiple units, and a compound effect took place, right? Because at first, it's 800 a unit, 1,100 here, 2,000 here. It was cool, good money, but when you start seeing $7,000 a month going there, $13,000 a month going there, it starts to look different.
So where do I got so many questions now. One, where do you get 800 from? Because when I hear people doing Airbnb, they're like they maybe get $400. You know what I'm saying? Like it's because they still got to pay the rent. So where do you get 800 from?
This is why I am who I am in Airbnb, right? Because I really teach a lot of people don't realize how much money you can make from doing all the other stuff on Airbnb.
Okay.
Give you an example, right? So it may be $400, right? So let's just say your profit is $400 because you have to pay your rent, you have to pay all your bills, right? One thing I do is one way I make money is off of my cleaners. So example, let's say if my cleaner is charging me $80, I'm going to charge a cleaning fee of $130. Right? So now every time they book, they're going to pay a one-time fee of $130, right? They give me $130, I give my cleaner $80, I keep $50. If I had 10 bookings for the month, I just made 10 times 50. I made $500. 400 plus 500 off of the cleaners. I just made $900.
Facts, yeah.
This is why we make more money than the average person because we have little things that we do that allows us to make more money, right? We make money off our cleaners. We make money off when people worry about damaged property. We make money off of damaged property. We make money off of parking, right? So one of my buildings, I charge parking $30 a night, right? So the average person is staying about 3 days. If they need parking 3 times 30, I just made an extra $90. If I do that, 3 times, 3 bookings out the month, that's an extra $270 right there, right? So another thing that we do is we do early check-in, late checkout. Now, I know some of y'all may be thinking, well, all these fees, right? The hotels do it. Why wouldn't you do it? Right? The only reason people complain, see, that's why I don't like Airbnb. Y'all charge all those fees. The only reason you worry about that is because you're on the wrong side of money. You on the side where you got to pay it. If you was on the other side where you would get the charge and you made the money, you would be happy charging the fees.
And go ahead.
I was
gonna say also though, because I've traveled a lot more so recently. When you start making the money, you pay for convenience anyway. So even if, let's say hypothetically, I don't know, something small as parking. Even if I had to scan the thing in the park or whatever the case may be, I don't mind paying a little bit extra if they gonna take care of it for me. Right. If they're taking care of the parking every night and I don't have to, I'm paying that because I'm paying for convenience. So
absolutely.
People that, I understand it because when you start making money, you pay for convenience. People that's I'm not trying to talk about people that's struggling. I'm not trying to do that. But when you don't really have it, you do worry about these things. But honestly, when you get to a point to travel and you can travel how you like it, and those are the customers that you want anyway. You don't want the person that barely can afford it because now they complain about every single thing.
But you could also, but here's the thing is you can also be smart, right? So I'm gonna give you one example for one of the bills I have. This is this is why I never worry. I don't worry about it. I'm like, all right, cool. I told a lady a few weeks ago, I'm like, I'm not giving you parking. Go find. She's like, no, I'm sorry. No, go ahead, go find parking. Because it was like, oh, why do we have to pay for parking? I said, well, it's downtown and parking is really expensive there. I said, even the building itself, it charged $50 per night and it's first come, first serve, and it's unsecured.
Mm,
I'm offering you parking for $30 a night and I was secured parking space that's reserved and it's behind a gate.
mm,
Okay, it's $30 a night. So now you can either one, do the building parking and pay $50 a night and hope that you can find a spot. Number two, go park on the street and you're gonna pay more, and now you gotta walk from the street or whatever the case is, or the parking lot, just basically not in the building. So it's just like it's just a smart thing to do, right? It's one of those things that it just makes sense. So I also look at things like that. Like some people, they may say, "Oh, why would you charge 30 if bill charge 50? Why would you charge 50? Because now it makes my sell a lot easier.
mm,
I'm gonna sell this parking without having to sell it. It just makes sense, right?
mm-hmm.
That's it. Your thing is you have to park. You have a car. You don't want to spend a lot of money. You're gonna spend a lot of money, but if you do it this way, it's gonna be secure and it's gonna cost less. I don't have to sell you on it at this point. It's something that you need.
Okay, is the unit, does the unit matter? Because I know my homie, my
Mhm.
close friend, he was doing Airbnb. He had a two bedroom and he was doing really well. He had like kind of changed because I guess the new building was like higher, right? Like in floor, so he
Okay.
got a higher floor and so a better view. But it was only one bedroom, and he saw that one didn't really do well at all.
The higher one?
The one with one bedroom, yeah,
Okay.
which was on a higher floor. Does it matter? Do you suggest a two bedroom or a one bedroom, or does a one bedroom make just as much money?
It depends on what your goal is, right? So for instance, every single Airbnb that I have is a one bedroom. I
Wow.
love one bedrooms, and even though sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna get a two bedroom, and I always end up getting a one bedroom. Why? Because people are always looking for a one bedroom. If I'm a person going out of town for business, I need a place to stay. I'm a search for one bedroom. If I'm a group of four females and we're going to turn up in Houston, we're gonna look for a one bedroom that sleep four because it's gonna be less money. If I'm a travel nurse and I need a place to stay, I'm probably gonna search a one bedroom because I need a place to stay while I'm at work for the next 3 months. So people are always in the market for a one bedroom. And my goal is to have my unit booked every day, right?
Mm,
That's my goal. My goal is I want every one of my units to be booked every single day. Now, you may be a person that say, well, I would rather have less bookings, but be able to charge more. So I'm going to go with a 3 bedroom apartment.
oh,
Okay.
okay.
So now you go to 3 bedroom apartment, and now maybe your unit is only booked on the weekends. So you only book from Friday to Sunday, Friday to Monday, those type of things. You got like 4 bookings per month, but those 4 bookings you can charge a lot more, and now you make all your money. But the way that I think of it is, if if it's a bigger space, you're gonna attract two types of people, right? Or two types of bookings. One is the person that's looking to turn up, like, oh, it's my birthday. I finna get this Airbnb. It's a 3 bedroom, sleep 11 people. We
Mm,
could go there. It's lit, right? Or I'm attract people that are going on vacation, right? Families, because they need a place to house their whole people, right? Their whole group of people. So now, when do those people travel? Weekends and holidays. I
mm.
don't want to be booked only on weekends and holidays. So I'll go with the smaller unit because now it's going to always be booked. I'm not relying on weekends or holidays, right? So it all really depends on what your goal is. And then it mostly depends on also your location, because
Okay.
your location has to be like my areas that I'm going to be in is going to be in highly visited areas where people are going to visit every day, right? Versus like let's say if you're in Orlando by, everybody say, I want to do one by Disney World. Okay, cool. Then your best bet is probably to get a house and you're gonna look for friends. That's the people that are traveling there, right? People are going on vacation. So it's all about the location and it's all about what your goal is with the business.
So in those locations though, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times the rent be more expensive. So you get that one bedroom,
Mm-hmm.
like let's think of like a Buckhead, right?
Yep.
Like you get a one bedroom in a high rise, it's gonna be like
Yep.
$2,500. To make $2,500 in a one bedroom, it might be hard. I don't know, but
Life is not what it costs, it's about what it's worth.
mm,
So many times we focus on the cost. It's not about what it costs, right? If if you pay, I'll give you this is an example I actually teach my teach. Y'all tell me, right? I want y'all to choose. Would you rather have unit A or unit B? Unit A is a 1 bedroom apartment in Atlanta. The rent is $1,500 a month, right? It's not an Airbnb friendly building, so you don't have to pay anything extra. And every single month, after paying all of your bills, you are left with $900 a month, right?
mm,
That's unit A. Unit B is a unit in like one of my favorite cities, Nashville, right? the rent is $3,000 a month. On top of the 3,000, you have to pay the building 25%. But every single month, after paying all of your bills, all of your expenses, including the 25%, you are left with $2,000 a month. Would you rather have unit A or would you rather have unit B?
B for sure.
Right. So you're telling me you would rather pay $3,000 than pay $1,500. Why? Because of payoff. So it's all about the payoff. Don't worry about the price. Right. There's enough research out there that you can do to figure out how much money you're gonna make before you commit to that place.
Okay.
So once I figured out, I don't care if the rent is $10,000. If it's showing that I'm gonna be bringing home $14,000 every month, I'm in.
Facts. Yeah.
Right? Because the statistics, it's just like we talked about with mentorship. The proof is out there, bro. There's so many people doing Airbnb. Like there is no new you ain't first of all, don't try to be the Christopher Columbus of an Airbnb. Oh, I found a new place. Nobody doing Airbnb there. It's a reason why. Right? I just do Airbnb where people are already doing it. Why? Because there's a lot of proof. I can go see, oh, these people are making this amount, they're booked this amount. I can look at the statistics. I can go on platforms like AirDNA and MatchVisor and see the occupancy rate, how often are these units being booked, how much money are hosts charging per night in the area. I can see all this stuff. So I can literally run the numbers and say, if I get an Airbnb here, if I can find rent that's going to be anywhere between $3,000 to $4,000 a month, I should be able to make $2,600 a month in profit. Anywhere between $2,000 to $2,600 a month in profit. I'm cool with that.
So I guess, all right, my homie, again, he's had a spot. It wasn't Airbnb friendly, I don't think, but it was a lot of people doing Airbnb in there.
Yep.
He had the one bedroom, and he didn't really do well with the one bedroom.
Yep.
Where do you think, like, what you think went wrong?
It could be something as simple as photos. Did he have a professional photo?
Photos look good.
Was it professional photos or did you look good?
It was professional.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like he hired a photographer. Perfect. It could be about how he furnished it, right? Who he's serving. So here's, I'm gonna give you one example. One thing that I do that a lot of people don't do in Airbnb, and I teach this, is I put beds in the living room. Bro, why the hell would you do that? Because I understand the more people you sleep, the more money you make, right?
Okay.
So, and think about it. If you walked into a hotel and there was a bed in the
it's the
okay, cool.
room. Yeah,
I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah, it's a room.
I told y'all, I believe getting rich is really simple. It's just a sport that people overcomplicate, right?
Okay.
So what I'll do is I'll put a queen size bed in the bedroom. So Airbnb says if it's a full size or bigger, you can sleep 2 people on there. And then I'll put 1 or 2 queen sizes in the living room. So I'll give you the smaller option, right? Right. Sometimes I'll put a queen size bed in the living room and maybe a couch, like a fold out couch in front of it or on the side of it, right? Depending on the layout. So just imagine a living room, right? Let's just imagine this space, right? Imagine a bed, a headboard against this back wall, and then right in front of that, there is a couch and it's facing a TV, right? So now if I want to sleep, I can kind of like pull down the couch. One person could sleep there, 2 people could sleep on the bed, and then I have a bedroom with another queen size bed. That's another 2 people. That's already a 1 bedroom sleep 5. Damn. And then what I would do is I'm gonna buy a single rollaway bed, a twin size rollaway bed that I can fit into. Most units have a walk-in closet in the bedroom. So now I got 2 people on the bed in the living room, 1 person on the fold-out couch. I got 2 people in the bedroom on the queen, and I got the 1 rollaway bed. This is a 1 bedroom, sleep 6 people.
Damn.
People are going to book my 1 bedroom, sleep 6 for less money than they would do the 2 bedroom, sleep 6, because now they're gonna save money, but everybody can sleep comfortably, right? So now what happens is I'm beating all the people in the 1 bedroom, and I'm competing with the people in the 2 bedroom. So I stay booked, therefore I keep making money. So it's little things like this that make a big difference. He could also be charging the same amount for cleaning as he pay his cleaners, right? He could also not be charging parking or not be charging enough for parking. So there are so many different things and different dynamics is, right? You're gonna run a 1 bedroom a little different than running a 2 bedroom. But then the other thing is you also got to understand your market. Are you in a market where there's people that's coming to turn up and party? Are you in a market where people are coming there and they want to come stay for a week or 2 weeks because they got to do business or they need to work, right? So that one thing could be, oh shoot, bro, this is an area where people really come. They come for work, or it's in a medical district and there's travel nurses that need to come here and they're looking for a separate workstation. You don't have all you need to do is add a $60 desk and a $30 chair and your whole business changes, because now what happens is when they search on Airbnb, they can filter and say, I only want to see Airbnbs that have a separate work area. I don't care how nice your unit is. If your box ain't checked off to say that you have a separate work area, your unit will never show up.
Wow.
You gotta understand, people search through filter. When I shop, I filter search. I only want to see what I'm looking for. I don't need to see everything else. I only want to see what I'm looking for. So one thing that you can do as an Airbnb host is when you create your listing, they have all these different boxes, and in each box it has different questions. If you at least check one question in every box, it doesn't matter what filter they put up, your unit will always pop up.
Mm. Damn, that's real game. All right, I'm trying to think of like some things that scare people. I would assume, let's say you do your coaching thing or you have your mentorship,
Mm-hmm.
teach people how to get Airbnbs. I'm assuming it's some type of get your credit right so you can get multiple, so you can get some funding, something like that, or
Some, but you don't really need it. A lot of people don't know that you can actually do Airbnb without having credit and without using your own money through co-hosting. So co-hosting is where you get paid to run other people's Airbnbs for them. So you don't use your credit because they already have the property. There's nothing for you to apply for, right? They're literally saying, "Hey, I'm going to pay you to run this unit that I already have."
how do you do that?
Co-hosting. So one simple way you can do is go to cohostmarket.com, right? And on there, there's going to be a whole, you're going to see in all different cities, hey, we'll pay you 10%, we'll pay you 20%, we'll pay you 30%, right? Most of them is going to pay you between 10 and 20%. They're going to pay you to run the unit for them. It's just people that have access to Airbnbs. They may own a house or they may have rented a property, but they don't want to deal with the day-to-day work. So they're going to give you a percentage of it. They say, hey, you run it, and then basically based on what we earn, I'll give you a percentage of that, right? So you don't use your credit and you don't use your money. But the thing that I tell people all the time, don't mistake that for not needing to know how to run an Airbnb business because they're paying you to run it. So you still
Right.
got to know Airbnb, right? So people are like, oh, I'm gonna do that, so I don't need to learn. No, still learn, right? Because you got to learn how to run the Airbnb, and therefore, right, you're gonna make them money, which is gonna make you money. And then if they get more properties, they're gonna want you to run it for them because you're making the money.
Mm.
So you don't have to have credit, you don't have to have money. But then there's obviously other ways that you can do it, but it doesn't cost as much as people think. Honestly,
Before we go to that, hold on, hold on. So I know you do the teach people how to automate it,
yeah.
right? So if you running somebody Airbnb, I can then automate that and not have to do anything and just get that free
Yeah.
10%.
Yeah. So if I'm running somebody's, that's what I said, learn Airbnb. My guy, he went from having no units to having 40 units, and in 3.5 years thus far, he has never stepped foot in a single Airbnb. They're in all different cities all around the country. He just runs them because we do everything from our phones, right? We have apps, we have AI. So there are systems in place that you can set up to where when people check in, they automatically get messages, hey, here's your check-in instructions, here's what you need to do. Before they check out, they automatically get messages saying, hey, here's how you need to check out. I got a system to where every time I get a booking, my cleaners automatically get alerted and say, hey, you just got a booking, you need to clean this unit this day. And then I have 3 reminders set up to go to them. One the day before, right? No, one the day of the booking, another one the day before to remind them, and then another one the morning of. So everything is literally automated to where I don't really have to do. The only thing I do really is set codes and answer questions.
So let's run a play real quick. I do this seldomly, but every time I do this, it go well. Let me see something real quick. I want to teach somebody to go from, they don't have no money, right? They sign up to do co-hosting, right? From co-hosting to their own unit. Let's say, all right, this might be too low, but let's say I don't have no money, but I can co-host somebody, right? They bring in $400. They willing to pay me 10%, $400. That's only $40.
Okay.
Right? So it might take some time. How can I take that unit that's making $400, make them more money so I can make more money on the 10%, but then also save enough to get my own? How do I, that's my ground, my zero. I'm just co-hosting somebody's spot.
Yep. So the first thing you gotta do is you gotta find ways to make more money, which is actually more easier than you think. So the first thing is gonna do is I'm gonna see what fees are they not charging that I can charge. So like I said, something that's different as a cleaning fee. Like they may be charging, for instance, right? They may be charging $100 for a cleaning fee and paying their cleaners $90. If I increase that to $110 and it's still good enough in the market, that's an extra $10, not like $10 per booking.
Yeah.
So on 10 bookings right there, that's an extra $100 a month right there.
Right.
Now, right, they may not be charging for parking. So maybe I'll add a parking fee. It doesn't have to be nothing crazy. It could be $10 a night, right? Now, another thing I can do is I can add things inside of the unit that's going to make me more money. So one thing you can do is you can literally use Cash App, right? Use a QR code. You can put different items in there, toothpaste, extra drinks, things that people need. Like for me, bro, every time I travel, that's why this is back to my wife. Like my wife is gonna make sure I got deodorant and all that. So I'm gonna forget that toothpaste and all that
all
every
the time.
time.
I don't even bring it. I just buy it.
Yeah, that's what I say. I tell my wife, bro, like you know what I do. As soon as I land, what's the next?
Go to
CVS,
Walmart. Yep,
Walgreens.
yep.
I'm going to grab what I
Hey,
need.
yep.
I'm going to go get my Gatorade. I'm going to go everything I need. I'm going to where
Exactly.
I got to go.
Yep.
Right? So now what if I have that in the place? We talk about people pay for convenience, right? So now they can just scan the QR code and say, oh, shoot, I needed the toothpaste. I needed this, right? So now that's another way you can make money by having your own vendor in there. You don't need to do nothing extra.
And if
Just
they take this stuff, you can charge them.
yeah, because
Okay.
you can. And let's say if they take it and they don't pay, you can also submit a claim on Airbnb.
Okay. Okay.
Right?
Cool. So we got that.
Yep. So you can do that. You can create packages, right? So let's people come. Most times people are traveling for a reason. Birthdays, different celebrations. You could create a package and say, hey, if you celebrate a birthday, you want to surprise somebody, we have a package where we can go and we'll put, we can do this, we can do that. We have different packages. You can create a package within that. And now a lot of people asking for that. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even like doing it. And even though I could have my cleaners do it, I just don't. I like to make lazy money. I don't want to do it. I just want to just
No
make
extra.
the money,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
But you could literally create packages to where it's like, okay, birthday celebrations, we'll decorate the room. We'll go out and buy this, and they pay extra fees. So the first thing that you're gonna do is find a way to create more money so you have more money to save. That's it.
Okay.
The second thing you're gonna do is just get multiple units. To be honest, because if you're doing it one time, you can do it multiple times. It does not take a lot of energy.
How do I do that? I'm sorry. How do I do that? Right, what we just did, but automate it so I don't even have to do that.
Right, so you can use platforms like Guesty. Right, one of my favorite platforms is called Guesty. On Guesty, I could sync multiple listings into this one platform. So I can have 10 different Airbnbs all over. I can have it listed on this one platform. Right, I can create all these automated messages that are scheduled to go out to the guests. I can create all my automations in this one platform. I can also have my units listed on multiple platforms. So let's just say I listed one of my Airbnb. We call it Airbnbs, but Airbnb is a platform.
Yeah.
So you have Airbnb, you have Vrbo, you
Vrbo.
have Booking.com, you have Furnish Finder, you have all these different platforms. So let's say if I had it on Airbnb, Vrbo, and Booking.com, right? Now I can sync all of those into this one Guesty app.
So you can't get overbooked.
Yeah, so I can't get booked.
Wow.
So now I'm putting everything in one hosting platform that has all of the same automations. So now it also makes it easier for me to scale up because when I go grab another unit, the ones I added in there, all the automations are already set. I'm just applying it to this next unit.
Wow.
Yeah, so it just makes your life like so you find a platform, right? Bro, this is crazy how the world works because this is that we talk about what's called a mentorship. Who can I pay, right? You're gonna pay this platform it's like $15 a month or so, and you're gonna say, hey, I'm gonna pay this platform to make my life a lot easier because I'm gonna leverage this platform to automate my entire business.
So
Okay?
does that do the you don't have to talk to them too? Because I think when I was doing an Airbnb,
Mhm.
one of the hardest things was dealing with the people.
Yep.
That's one of the hardest
That's
things.
the hardest thing. So what I do is I say anytime you get repetitive questions or you come with repetitive scenarios, just turn it into an automation. So if I get 3 guests in a week or in 2 weeks, whatever that say, hey, I'm having a hard time finding a parking. That tells me it's my fault because I'm not clear enough so you can find that parking. So I'm gonna go into and I'm gonna create an automation that says here is the exact directions to park it. I may go and record a video and put it on YouTube and then put that link in there and say, hey, directions to the park, easy directions to the parking spot. Now, guess what? I just cut down some of my conversations. So that's gonna happen over time. Every time I see something that guests are continuously asking for, right? I'm gonna just turn it into an automation and I'm just gonna let it happen. And then there's certain things that you can't like escape. So example, I can't guess if a guest is going to ask for early check-in or late checkout, right? That it just has to happen. But one thing I could do is I could create a message for if somebody say, hey, how much do you allow early check-in? I can create a message that says, hey, yes, we charge early check-in. This is what we charge. And I can store it in my message center. It's called a quick reply. And then basically now I have to wait for them to ask me. But when they ask, I don't have to take my time to write it out. I just go into my message center. I look at the one that says early check-in. I hit send and I'm lit. Right? So there's things that you're going to be able to fully automate to where it's just you don't even need to do anything. And there's some things that you have to wait for them to do something for you to have a reply for it. But those you can set up your in your automations as quick replies. So all the things the conversations that you were having, right? If they were repetitive, like man, this is annoying. People keep like one of my units, right? I had it over here in Smyrna, which is crazy. I had over here by what's it called? Truist Park. Okay. And people will always ask, how close is it to the stadium? How close is it to, is it safe to walk? Like they would have all these questions. So I just took all the questions they were asking. I put it into one message, and then now anytime somebody said, "Hey, can I walk? How far is it walk? How many miles?" I had it in the I just hit send, send, send.
How well did that B&B do?
Very well. It was one of my favorite units. I had to shut it down.
Wow.
One of my because it was just smart. And I always tell people don't be emotionally attached to your business. So we got into the unit. They said we could do Airbnb, right? They knew we was doing. We did well. New property managers came in. We let them know we did well. Another property manager came in, and then this property manager's like, "Hey, everybody got shut down Airbnb." Cool. So we went, had a conversation. Like, listen, we've been doing this. If you talk to other property managers, we've been doing really well. And then, long story short, is they was like, okay, cool. We'll let you do Airbnb, but you're gonna have to pay an additional fee on top. Okay, cool. So they charged the extra fee. So they was gonna charge an extra fee, but then they also the rent was going up. So when I looked at the numbers, I'm like, this ain't worth my time because I would be making like $300 a month. And I'm like, this ain't worth my energy. Like you're raising my rent and I gotta pay a fee to do Airbnb on top of it based on what I'm earning. It's just not worth the headache.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So for me, I'm like some people they get emotionally attached to you like, oh my God, I don't know. And now they're like every month they're making 280, 220, slow season, and like they're not making no money because they were not like just let it go. It's okay, just let it go, get another one, right?
What's the I don't know the number that you want to stick to when it comes to or the average amount of
Yeah.
profit that you want to be around?
$800 per bedroom. So that's
Damn,
that's
per bedroom.
right. That's the number that you're looking for, right? Ideally. So if I get an Airbnb, it's a one bedroom. My goal is to make $800 a month, right? Now it don't have to be only from bookings. It could be through parking and all the other things I do. But my goal is if I can make an extra $800 a month, that's what I'm looking for. If I have a two bedroom, the number is 1,600. Now it could show. Let's say if I like one bedroom, so let's say it's 800. Let's say it shows that like when I run my numbers, I'm gonna be making like 500. Am I cool with making 500 where I am right now? Yeah, I'm straight. I'll take the 500 a month. You know why? I'm cool. Like I know I'm gonna automate it. It's not gonna take a lot of time. And if I know me like I know me, I'm gonna make extra money for all the other things too, right? So there is a number, but also let's look at it, y'all. Once again, life ain't that complicated. Are you if you had an Airbnb that the only thing you did was really set guest codes, and if they have any questions, because guests are weird, it's the hardest part of the business. They ask dumb questions, right? Hey, how do you check in? Just scroll up, bro. It's all the answers are there, right? But if that's all you got to do, and you bring in an extra $500 on autopilot every month, is it worth it? I'm taking it, right? Don't get so caught up in the I thought I was gonna be making $3,000 a month in profit. No, you're not gonna make $3,000 a month in profit off of every unit. You're gonna have some. I have some one bedrooms that bring me over $2,500 a month in profit. I have other units that bring me $600 a month in profit. I'll take all of it.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? I'll take all of
How
it.
do you deal with the off season?
You prepare for the off season and the high season, right? So one thing I did, so like November, December, January are usually the harder months, right? The slow season when it comes to Airbnb. So most people, what they'll do is they're gonna cook. They're gonna cook. You know, they cook in May, June, July, August. They make some money September, October. And then they wait till November and they're like, oh, I'm not making money. Let me lower the prices. Nah, I'm doing that. I did that 3 months ago. If you look at
You
my
lowered the
calendar,
prices 3 months
yeah,
ago?
I started lowering the prices. I started making all these changes and it like because now I'm catering to the planner. I'm catering to the person that's like, hey man, let me try to book my vacation now because we're going 3 months from now. I want to book now. I'm a last minute booker. I just booked a flight last night to go somewhere in a day. You know what I'm saying? So, but there's people that's planning. So now, if I'm a planner and I see that you're charging, let's just say $300 a night for this place, and I look in 2.5 months from now, it's 120. I'm like, oh, I need to book this. That might be a mistake.
Yeah.
So now my goal in the off season is not to make a lot of money. It's to just not have to go under. If I make $200, $300 for 2-3 months, but the other months I'm making 1,800, 2,000, fine.
Damn.
So the best way to get through the slow season is to prepare for it during the high season. And that's what we teach. We teach our students to do certain things while things is hot, so you ain't have to worry about it in the off season. I just had another student write me, man. I wish I could pull this up. I don't remember who it was. They just wrote me like, "Yo, it's the off." Oh no, he posted on Instagram. I took screenshots of it. Right? Like I kid you not. And he's like, "Yo, it's the off season. Look, bro, I'm gonna show you just so you know I ain't capping." Right? I took screenshots of them, and they was like, "It's the off season." I took screenshots of the caption. He's like, "It's the off season," and they show how much money they made. They said like we fully booked for months and we're making money. Why? They're just applying the stuff that we teach.
So okay, we've been recording for an hour, like going on an hour and a half, right?
Mm-hmm.
If people listen this far, they deserve something.
Right.
Give me like your 5 steps that when somebody pay you, I want this free game. If they come, they deserve this.
Okay.
They pay for your mentorship, your whatever you got going on, right? What's 5 things that you teach them that they can go out and make money right now? It's been an hour plus. They deserve it if they get this far.
Right. So number one, before I charge them, I always like people to see me. Right. I think people are going to spend money with you when they know, like, or trust you. Now they may have known me enough, but I literally will give them access to spend 5 days with me on Zoom, where I break this down to make you say, you know what, this is for me or this isn't for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm only looking for people that are looking for me. I don't want people to get in and be like, oh, I don't think it's going to. No, like, after you spend 5 days, like, this is 1 hour, bro. Imagine spending 5 days with me and it's like, okay, cool, this is something I really want to learn. Now I know this is something that you really want. So number one, they're gonna get that, right? And I can give that to them for free. In fact, if they go to the number 5daymentorship.com, they get a free. I'll make it even better, right? And I'll give them it's okay if I give them free. All right, I'll give y'all free ebooks, right? So I'm gonna give you 3 free ebooks and a free ticket to come spend 5 days with me. So if y'all just take out your phones and text the letters BNB, right? BNB to 618-469-0404. I'm gonna give you 3 free Airbnb ebooks that you can kind of look and look at it right now, and then you'll get to spend 5 days with me, right? Now, for me, my goal is to spend time with my family, right? I want to be able to make money and not have to work really hard. So one of the main things I want to teach you is not only how to start an Airbnb business, but how to put it on autopilot so it takes you less than 20 minutes a day, right? So the good thing is that you're not going to have to stop doing what you currently do in order to make money.
So is that through guest? What was it?
It's system. So Guesty is just one of the platforms that we use. But when you understand, like, Guesty combined with your cleaning team, combined with, like, how you communicate with your cleaners, combined with how you communicate with your guests.
Give me the game. How do I communicate with my cleaners without having to talk? Without having how do I automate it?
So
those 3 things.
All right, cool. Let's talk about cleaners real quick. So the first thing is, what I'm gonna do with my cleaners is I'm gonna put it on Guesty. I set automated messages to go to my cleaners via text, not the platform. So via text, they're gonna get a text basically saying, "Hey, we just got a booking. You know you have to clean a unit this day, right?" Then the night before, they're gonna get a book and say, "Hey, don't forget tomorrow you have to clean." And then the morning they're gonna get another message. I also create a WhatsApp group, right? Because you want your cleaners to communicate, but you don't want to have to communicate with them. So now I create a WhatsApp group with my cleaner, and they have to take a video before and after every single cleaning, right? Why is that? Just in case somebody breaks or damages something, I have the proof inside of the WhatsApp. But I don't need you to hit me up every day and say, hey, here's the video. I just know it's there, right? Because that's a part of our system that we put in place. You know that as soon as you walk in, you're not going to touch nothing. You're not going to pick up nothing on the floor. You're going to take a full video of the place. You're going to post it in that chat. You're going to clean the place, and then you're going to post it. So if I get a guest that say, hey, I just walked in and the couch is broke, I go to the video. I go to the WhatsApp. I just look. I don't need to hit my cleaner up or anything. I see what's there. I look through the video, and I say, oh, shoot, damn, it was. Right? Now I can say, yes, you're right, it was. Or I can look at it and say, no, we have a video of after the last guest checked out, and we have a video of after the cleaner cleaned, so you definitely broke that. Right? Now I can submit a claim to Airbnb. I have all the proof that I need. So that's one thing, like, that's why I say it takes us less than 10 minutes, because those are simple things that you put in place using Guesty and WhatsApp, right? And then a simple system of taking pictures before and after. Now it relieves my time right there. That's just on the cleaning part.
Okay.
Right?
What else do you need to be automated?
So you got that. Then you need scheduled messages and quick replies. So you can do this. You could use Guesty, but you can also do this in Airbnb. But honestly, I would use Guesty because you can do that with the cleaners and with your guests. But if you don't want to spend an extra $15 a month, you can also do this on Airbnb. So the quick replies is, like I'll talk to you about, it's the things that we have to wait for them to ask.
Right.
Hey, is there early check-in? Is there early checkout? So you can create a bunch of messages. Anytime a guest asks you, oh, I don't know how to get to the pool. Hey, is there any place to eat in the area? Just create a message one time. So anytime somebody asks you these questions, you just go and you hit food, right? And you hit send. They say, hey, how to get to the gym? Gym directions. send, right? So this is another way it's going to save you a lot of time. Those are just the quick replies. Scheduled messages are the things that every single one of your guests is going to need. They all going to need check-in instructions. They all need to know how to check in. They all going to need check-out instructions. If you charge anything extra, they're going to need that. If there's any specific rules, like a lot of my units, we have specific pool rules. I'm going to set up automated messages to go to them at a specific time. I'm going to set up my check-in instructions to go to them 2 days before they check in. So they're not hit me up talking about, oh, I don't know how to check in. It's sent to you already.
This is through Airbnb or through the
both.
guest?
You could do it through Guesty or you could do it through Airbnb.
Okay.
Right? I just like to do Guesty because Guesty, I could do everything with my guests and my cleaners and other things I could do through one platform.
Okay.
Right? You can even attach Price Labs, which is a pricing tool. So if you like, I'm not good with pricing, you can use a platform called Price Labs, where they're going to automatically price yours based on other units and what they're charging in that area.
Wow.
And they're going to also do it based on if it's holidays, if it's high, like you may be charging $79 a night, but Price Labs may pick up, hey, during these 3 days, there's a concert and people are charging $279. They will automatically adjust your prices.
Wow.
So now I ain't got to worry about the prices. I ain't got to worry about the cleaners. I ain't got to worry about the guests because guess what? I got automated check-ins. I got scheduled messages and quick replies. Now, another thing you could do is add a smart lock. Right? One of the locks that I use is called Yell by August. Now, what Yell by August allows you to do is it allows you to control your lock right from your cell phone. I was in Dubai 2 years ago speaking at an event. I had guests that was checking in Texas. I was able to hit like right before I go on stage, hit one button and let them into the unit. All the way in Dubai, they're in Texas. Right? But now these smart locks you can integrate them with Airbnb. So every time you get a guest, they will automatically attach them to the smart lock and give them a code automatically. Now, me personally, I don't really like that. But if you want, you can, because guess what? Now that guest's gonna get some generated code. It may be 64827. Now they go out, they're drinking, they forget it, right? I like to give the guest the last 4 digits of their phone number so they never forget it, right? So I like to set my codes manually for specific locks, right? So you got smart locks, okay? We got cleaners. You want to have a handyman on call just in case somebody breaks or damages something. Somebody breaks or damages. None of my units are in the city I live in, right? So somebody breaks or damages something in my unit, I got to get it fixed. It's a part of the game. I'm going to still get the claim and make my money back. But what? I contact my handyman. I send him to a unit. I give him a smart lock code. He goes in and clean it and fix it or do whatever he has to do. He leaves the unit. I didn't have to physically go there.
Wow.
Another thing they can do, y'all getting some game. This is stuff that I do. I stock my units with 3 months worth of supplies.
Okay.
So so when I go into a unit, I'll take the closet, the coat closet, the pantry. I'm going to change the locks. Go on Amazon, order you a lock with a code, right? Change the lock so your guests can't get it. Give your cleaners the code, and then put all your waters, all your tissues, extra sheets, extra comforters, 3 months worth of supplies. So now all your cleaner got to do is come in and clean. If they need anything, everything is there. So you only have to restock every 2 months, once every 2 months when stuff get low. So when I got 1 month left of supply, let's go grab 2 more months. So now we got 3 again.
Okay. Sheesh. All right. So they do the 5 days with you. Automations. What else? Something we need the game. What else that you teach that what they pay? This is paid. This is we consider this is we doing charity right now. Okay. Right. What else would you teach them?
So the other thing that I'm big on, like I said, I like to do things based on my journey and things that I've done and things that I know that I wanted. So the biggest thing that I would say is the convenience. So I also give people access to a whole team of people, right? Because there's other parts of the process that people don't know. And sometimes you just want somebody to kind of hold your hand through that process, right? So one of the things that we do is, let's say if you like, JD, I want you to like really coach me. Like I need something. So I know that when you get started, number one, you're probably going to want some sort of funding. You want some sort of access. So I literally set you up with a whole team that's going to walk you through the process to help you get access to funding. I know that you're going to be in better position if you have a good structure. Meaning you have your LLC, you have your Dun & Bradstreet number, you have a business email, you have a virtual address. So I have somebody that literally walks you through the process of setting all that up, like another individual, right? I know one of the biggest fears is that people are going to say, oh, I can't find a unit. So I literally partner with a company that has a platform with all Airbnb approved properties, and we also assign them one person that, let's say if they go on Zillow and they find 20 properties that they need, right? Now, with these 20 properties that they would like to have for Airbnb, they can send that person, and that person will contact them on their behalf and run the script.
What's the name of the company?
That company, they can only it's through my company.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like a
you can't go and do it. Like what I'm sharing with you won't be able to get on your own. You only can get it if you through me.
Okay.
Right? So
you see, I'm trying.
No, that's good. No, that's good. They can search it up. I can search So the name of that company that I partner with is called ZFind, right?
Okay.
So ZI Find, right? You can go to them, but the service that I'm sharing to you, you're not going to get that. If you want, you can leverage that platform and see Airbnb approved platforms. I think they charge like, don't quote me because I think it was like $300 a month or something like that,
Okay.
right? So they can definitely leverage that. But as far as like, hey, all right, Jay, you just found 20 properties on Zillow. Okay, give them to me. Let me call them for you. They're not going to get that kind of stuff,
Okay.
right? And all the other services that they provide, right? We also have our team create a professional logo for them because most people don't really understand how big of a difference like having a logo, right? So we have our team create a logo for them. We have our team create a website for them. So when you go to a building and say, hey, I have this business and I provide housing to business professionals who travel for work, they say, okay, cool. Do you have a website? Most people be like, no. That's what we create for them. Very professional, right?
Wow.
I have a team. So when it's time to create their listing, right? Let's do before that. So all of our students, my wife actually does this, and people don't even know this, right? So you could have a meeting with my wife and say, hey, I'm not really into designing, but I want like a modern unit. I like the colors, gold and purple,
Mhm.
right? And this is how I want my unit to look, right? And then she'll come up with a whole design. She'll show it to you. If you like it and you approve, she will literally go online, find all the furniture for you, and then you'll have a meeting with her, and then she'll say, okay, go to Amazon, put this code in, go search this, here, use this link, put that in your cart, right? Now you're gonna pay for your furniture, but now she designed your unit, right? And you didn't have to spend a lot of money, but you have a great looking unit and you didn't have to go search for this yourself. Everything was done for you. I have somebody that's going to sit with you and create your listing for you. A lot of people don't realize they create their listing and they can't get booking. Why? Because there's certain things that you need to do that makes your listing attractive.
Like what?
So one of the things that you could do is your title. People are gonna put, all right, here's an example, right? People will be like, all right, so let's say their Airbnb is in Houston and downtown. So they'll put downtown Houston, uh, downtown Houston chick apartment. Why they
Beautiful
searched,
luxury
but they
apartment downtown.
yeah, but they already searched. They know what's in Houston.
Right.
Why you wasting words with downtown Houston? But if you put in your listing something like Lux Suite parking, pool parking, 5 minutes to DWTN. In that one description, I just sold my unit. I
Damn.
told them that it's a luxury unit. I told them it was 5 minutes to downtown. I told them it had a pool. I told them it had parking included. I told them everything they need to know right in that description. They gonna click.
Mm.
So so it's like,
Optimization.
bro,
Almost.
it's something as simple as just creating that. Another thing is, right, when we first started Airbnb, we put all these paragraphs. Describe the unit, paragraphs. Put some bullet points. They just want to see. They don't want to read through a whole paragraph. But you got some bullet points. Oh, you got this, that, cool.
Mm.
So there's little things like that with your listing, right? That's gonna make a big difference. Another thing, right? I'll give you one. So there's people that travel with their family, okay, and they can filter and say, I only want to see family-friendly units. But in the family-friendly section on Airbnb, it says, do you have board games? So if I go buy Monopoly or Checkers, now I can click, yes, I have a family-friendly unit. They may be looking for a playpen, but my unit actually shows up. So they may be like, ooh, man, they don't have a playpen, but this unit looks nice.
Mm.
My unit's gonna always show up. So there's certain like things like that. That one little thing that you can do, you go buy a $5 game, and now you're getting exposed to more people. So that's what I mean about doing things in your listing that's gonna make you sell more.
Damn. I'm even thinking like you could have a playpen that I don't know, fold
A
up.
portable playpen.
Yeah, just put it in
you
a
can do that too. So
Damn.
it's one step, bro. Even like so now another thing is, bro. So for me, the way I do business is like, all right, what do my customers need, and what do I know the problems they're gonna have? I know people gonna come to me like, JD, I ain't got no credit. I got money, but I ain't got my credit is bad. Cool. I have a whole international Airbnb team, and international Airbnb they don't check your credit, especially in places like Tulum. And all the units come with furniture. So I have a whole international team that comes in and helps you find the Airbnbs, set you up with the person for the bank, make sure you set up right for the taxes, right, bro? I literally, bro, I'm giving this for all my Airbnb coaches out there. I'm giving y'all the play right here, bro. It's collaboration over competition. I found who's the best at doing the things that everybody who needs in that Airbnb process. And instead of me saying, oh, this, I go right to them like, hey, bro, how can we collab? I got a lot of people that want to learn this Airbnb game. This is what I specialize in. You specialize in international Airbnb. I'm gonna give you all these people that want to do international Airbnb. As long as you add the value to my community, you got new customers.
Mm.
So I make sure, but that's why I'm very confident. And I will give out all the game, and I'll confidently give it out for free. Why? because you ain't gonna get what you want. You ain't gonna get that nowhere else. I got the best. I say it's the Avengers. Whoever's the best at that, I'm partnering with them. And if I don't, I'm looking. Okay, cool. Hey, how can we collab?
Is people making 800 per bedroom in Tulum?
It could be more than that too. Yeah, because Tulum is different. Remember, Tulum is like you look at Mexico. You got Cancun. They got all of the all inclusives.
Mm-hmm.
But Tulum is like all villas, penthouses. So it's like everybody's staying in Airbnbs.
Yeah.
And then they have all these luxury spots that you don't pay that much for. But people, when they go out, they want to, oh, we going to get the nicest Airbnb. I want to get a penthouse. I want to get a villa. They're going to pay that money. So you can actually make more than the whole $800 per room.
How much is the average person spending in Tulum to have an Airbnb?
They range from like $800 a month in rents to like, I've seen like some of the top ones be like a little over 2,000 and change. But for most ones, I try to stay in that range because that's my market of people. Most the people that I serve are more people like they work in a job, they're trying to find another way. They barely have the money and they just need a solution. There's a lot of other people who do a lot of other things and charge a lot of money, but that's the people that I like to help because that was me before. So most of the stuff that I do, I try to keep it around the whole. I don't want it to really be more than like 2,500 or so. I like them to be where people see like, man, I think I could do that. Because I know when people feel like, yo, if they see something like it's possible for me, they're gonna actually start. All right. So that's what I focus on.
And the spots in, I guess, the international, you don't have to do credit checks to.
There's no credit checks as long as you have the money. And when I say about my money, it ain't even like out here like, oh, you got 3 months rent. Now it may cost you 3 months rent to get in, but they need to make sure, they need to verify that you got at least enough to pay that first rent. As long as you have that, you lit, right? But now, of course, you're gonna have to pay your rent. So sometimes it's gonna be like 2 to 3 times. Like basically, when you go, you're gonna spend like 2 to 3 times whatever the rent is to get in. But for them to verify if you are qualified to get it without credit is as long as you can afford 1 month rent, then they'll let you.
Is there any other game before I let you get out of here? Like, let's say somebody want to do a JV in Airbnb. Is it worth it? Like joint venture? Like, I don't know, somebody got good credit. I got the money. Yo, you just run your credit to get the apartment. I'll pay you the money.
Right.
Is that worth the money? If so, what percentages should we do? Like, give me some game like that.
So number one, just be creative, y'all. Don't. If you can't do something like you said, if you don't have the credit, be creative, right? Somebody else got the credit, you got the funds, come together and do it. But I'm gonna be honest, when it comes to joint ventures, and I have some, the only benefit, and I tell them too, the only benefit is at the beginning. Because if you do your research, you're gonna pretty much be able to tell that how much you're gonna be able to profit, right? So let's say if me and you we're gonna get an Airbnb together. Let's say it's gonna cost us $8,000 to get all the furniture, pay the first month rent, all that. I'll put 4,000, you put 4,000. We 50-50 partners, which I do like, and I also provide my mentees with contracts if they do partnerships. They have the contract.
But if they using that credit, 50-50 is not fair then, right? Or
it's whatever you work out.
Okay, I'm just curious.
But like my situation, it didn't really have nothing to do with credit. It was just like, hey, let's do it together.
Okay,
right?
Okay.
But the thing is, after we pay that, you pay your 4,000, I pay my 4,000. Once we run it and we're making our profits, for the rest of our life in that unit, we gotta go half and half. It was all because we put up the money at the beginning together. Because after that, when you pay your expenses, it's coming out of the money that you made from Airbnb.
Right.
So it's not like you need any extra money, right? It's like now it's just profits. Like some months you'll make 300, some months you'll make 13, some months you'll make a 2,000, some months you'll make 1,100. But you make your money, you pay your bills, and you keep what's left over. So I would tell people that if you could find a way to come up with the money by yourself, just do it by yourself. Because like I tell my partners, I'm like, listen, I don't mind. I'll put my half up, but if you could figure out your half, just get your half because now you get to get the full experience of the profits. For me, it's just extra money for me, and it's no headaches because I teach you how to automate it, and I ain't got to worry about it. I put the money up front, and I never have to worry about the unit again. I just have money coming in.
I see people sell Airbnbs. Is that good?
When you say sell Air, you talking like
people having apartments and like, y'all, I just sell my Airbnb already furnished, stuff like that. Like,
you gotta ask yourself. So anytime I see that, you gotta ask yourself, why are they selling it, right? You're like, because nobody's gonna sell something they're making money in, right? So, but just the other thing is, just because they're not making money doesn't mean that you won't make money. Because I'll ask you, if you say, hey man, I'm selling my unit, whatever. The first thing I'm gonna say, okay, why are you selling it? Well, I'm not making any money. Okay, I'm gonna look at my research and I'm gonna see, okay, nah, you look like you should be able to make profit here. I'm gonna ask you, did you get any kind of coaching or mentorship? If you say no, I'm sold. Because
Okay.
you didn't have no guidance. You probably was just doing things wrong. You probably didn't know how to you didn't know how to optimize. One of my mentees, right? He made $1 million. He made over $1 million now. But all he does is every time people are moving out the building, he offers to pay them and take over the unit for them because he just know that they don't know what they're doing.
Mm.
And what he does is just fix it
How
up
do you find those people?
as our system because you'll see them. They'll be in there, coming in there like, yeah, moving out. It's like when you in buildings that are, especially these Airbnb friendly buildings, people are just talking. The cleaners are talking to each other. The people that the cleaners will tell you like, hey, there's somebody moving out of this place or whatever. Or I had this apartment, they're gonna be shutting down. Oh, can you connect me with the owner? So it's easy. Like it's like being a part of a community. Like once you get in these Airbnbs, right, you get a part of these communities, it's easy to find the information.
Can you get? But that, I'm assuming that still is on their credit,
Say
right?
it again?
The person that's moving
Yeah.
out.
So you could either
Could that person get that? Hypothetically, I'm saying, let's say the person that buys it fucks them over, right?
Right.
Can that person get that off their credit? Like what the
The
risk versus
person that-
reward?
the person that
Let's say I'm about to move out my
Okay.
apartment, right?
Yup.
And you're like, yo, let me pay for it. Let me buy that off you, right?
Mhm.
I can sell it, but I'm still gonna be responsible for this.
Yeah, so that's a decision you have to make. You got to say either one, is the pain of me or paying like worth me risking my credit and saying, you know what, I'm gonna take a chance on this person, or you could just have them apply for the unit and take the unit as is,
Okay.
right? So instead of you saying, JD, I'm gonna sell you this unit, but you gotta get get approved, but I'm gonna leave all the furniture in there for you,
Okay.
so you don't have to worry about furnishing it, design it, whatever. If you want to make a little touch-ups, you can, but everything is already here, and I'm gonna give you a wholesale price on the furniture, right? So now I'll go apply for the building. I'll apply to take the unit as is. The building don't have to worry about cleaning it up and fixing it up and doing all that other stuff because I'm taking it as is. And my benefit is I have a unit that's already ready to go. So
Okay.
if you worried about your credit, which you definitely should be worried about your credit, just have them apply and just tell the building, hey, I'm gonna let go of my unit. I want to transfer to this person. How could they get the unit? Like, what is the process that I need to go through to give them the unit as is?
Mm.
Right. So that's that. My advice, like me, y'all speaking to y'all like family, do it that way. I know sometimes it's like, man, I can't afford it, and you're gonna risk your credit. I personally wouldn't risk my credit. Like you're gonna have to apply. I don't want this in my name at all. There has to be something that happens that my name is not involved in this anymore.
Bro, I think you gave him a lot of game, bro.
Yes, sir.
This is a lot, bro.
Hey,
I appreciate it, bro.
nah, always, man.
I guess for the people that don't know, let them know how to follow you on the gram. If you got any like coaching classes coming up or anything, let them
Yeah,
know.
so the best way to contact me is on the gram, man. I am super like involved. I do have teams that are doing things on my social media, but I'm always in there just checking. So if you go to Instagram, it's at the J Dinkins. That's TheJDinkins at the J Dinkins. I do have a 5-day mentorship coming up, and I'll definitely give you guys a free ticket. Once again, if you go to the number 5daymentorship.com, right, you'll see, it's a special link for you guys. You'll see that you get a free ticket. And once again, if you text that number that I gave you guys earlier, I'll not only send you the 3 ebooks that you can download, and I'll also send you the link. I'll make sure I put in there that you guys get a link to get a free ticket too. And I love the 5 days because they just get a chance to really spend 5 days with me. And we really like break everything down over 5 days. And the goal is very simple. At the end of those 5 days, you will know if this is for you or if it's not for you.
Mm.
So this ain't one of those things where you go and invest your money. You're like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, like, this is what I want to do. Or, like, I don't think this is for me. And that's the best thing for you. Because sometimes you may come and just because you decide not to do Airbnb doesn't mean it's not a win. Now, you didn't go waste your money paying some mentor thousands of dollars and then paying money to get into Airbnbs all to say, I don't like this. So all the goal of those 5 days is I'm going to teach you a lot of stuff. Y'all see what I got right here. You're going to learn a lot of stuff, but the best thing is that you're going to be able to decide at the end of this is something that's just worth my time, my money, and my energy.
Mm. I appreciate it, bro. This is good, dog.
Yeah, my eyes, I don't know if y'all getting me teary-eyed. My eye been going crazy right
Bro,
now.
this is good, man. My guy, JD, listen, man, if you want to get an Airbnb, start one, scale it, all that, he's the guy to go to, man. I appreciate you again. That's all we got, man. It's a wrap. We out.